So, hello again, and I guess I lied. It wasn't a lie. For some reason, I did not expect that having a day job and a little puppy is not a greatest combination for productivity. Didn't see that coming, should have seen that coming. But anyway, I did find the time to finish the rewatch of the censored version of Interview with the Vampire. We have the grand finale. So let's get on with it. Let's see it to the end and see how they changed the best ending a TV season could have. So we start episode 7 in the censored version. It is 43 minutes long.
Это было похоже на галлюцинацию. Лестат, наконец, пришел нас убить. Но это был не мираж. Ладно, я не спорю.
И устроил суд на сцене.
Uh-huh. The first correction. Again, I don't know why I'm so excited about that. The new boyfriend sold you out to the old boyfriend. It's gone. They were not even trying to exchange it with the friend, as usual. There is no romantic love, only friendship. But here they decided they were tired of that, basically, is what I'm getting from this. So, yeah, that line is gone.
И устроил суд на сцене.
But wait, they cut the line with the boyfriends, but the line of Armand where he said, okay, I sold him out, they translated it as like, I will not argue. And it sounds like he is agreeing with Louis' previous line where he tells that Lestat was there, that it was not a hallucination. I thought it was just a simple cut, but no, they changed the meaning of it.
Давайте вернемся к началу этой истории о зверствах. Это история о дружбе, не о зверствах.
Okay, they are back to friendship. So it's not the story of love, it's a story of friendship. Now, as expected.
Что ж, это история о предательстве друга.
Я проследил за взглядом Лестат и увидел Армана в одной из лож.
Wow. Lestat announced that it is the story of friendship now, but apparently it does not include his friendship with Nikki, because here we don't have the part where Lestat talks about his first paramour, or in this version, that would be his first best friend. So the part where Lestat talks about Nikki and how Nikki went insane and died, that's gone. I don't know how they're gonna connect it to the next part where he says that he went to ground for 100 years, which is also quite contested.
Я похоронил себя в грязи Порт-Ньюи-Сюр-Марн на окраине Парижа и пролежал там сотню лет.
Well, as I expected, here Lestat just says that he buried himself in the ground for 100 years, but he gives no reason for that. Like, Nikki does not exist. And again, I'm asking, were they just tired of this charade? I don't know, were they just tired of changing love to friendship in every instance? I don't know.
Я высадился в Новом Орлеане, дождливом сыне Парижа. И
They also got another mention of Nikki, that even a century underground could not obliterate the pain of his death. So I don't know what kind of grudge they had against Nikki and his story with Lestat, because that could have just easily been transformed into the usual friendship stick, but bizarre choices as usual.
американский пуританизм искалечил его душу. Подлый, черствый, жестокий.
Пошел ты! Это он говорил.
Откуда ты знаешь, что это был не твой голос?
Doesn't make sense. As usual, that's my catchphrase now, right? So they caught Lestat describing his first encounter with Louis, which is, again, very weird because we actually saw that all in the first episode with our own eyes, even in the censored version, where Lestat makes it sound like Louis was the one pursuing him. That's gone. And so they cut to like Louis shouting, fuck you, like, come to me. That's not what I said, that's your words. Now Lestat is saying, how do you know that it was not your own voice? But we don't have the context for that because we didn't have the part with come to me. Again, they are cutting come to me. I think like every instance of this phrase was cut.
Листат,
И после мук, вызванных смертью.
И после мук, вызванных смертью.
Is Nikki a swear word? I don't know. Why are they doing this? Like, Nikki was introduced in the first episode in the pilot. Lestat talks about Nikki, and then he was mentioned again in the first season with Claudia. So why are they censoring his name now? Like, it's literally they cut the sound of his name out. That's bizarre.
Как мой компаньон. Я предложил ему бессмертие. У обвиняемого перед глазами
In the church on the altar.
два мертвеца. Но он проигнорировал это, принял ваше предложение.
Мерзость!
Что ты сказал?
Okay, interesting. So obviously they didn't tell that it was a kiss, but they translated it as like Louis accepted it. And then we have that soldier shouting, well, not the slur that like in the original, but like, ugh, yuck, that's disgusting. Let's see how Assad reacts to that here.
Чужая сентиментальность тебе противна?
Oh, so it's not men embracing men, it's sentimentality, disgust too.
Захватили ваши позиции, 3 дня спустя ты сбежал в бельгийский лес. А в это же время...
It doesn't make sense now. Like, they exchange homosexuality with sentimentality as if it's something that would actually evoke such a deep reaction from someone. I don't know.
Он отвергал не только свою природу. Луи был необычайно остер на язык.
He also rejected you, is also gone.
И он пригрозил мне этим одиночеством.
Позор вам!
Я закрыла глаза и стала ждать, когда огонь поглотит и меня. Я молилась.
Here, Lestat just had a monologue about loneliness, and then they cut where he actually describes the events where Louis abandoned the townhouse and he was left engulfed in loneliness. Why, again? No idea.
И кем она будет? Собачонкой?
Нет, не собачонкой.
Такого огня я не видел.
And just like in the first season, they cut the part where he says she will be a daughter. I guess that's consistent.
Но я противился, зная, как мудры великие законы. Я понимал, что иначе девочку...
So they also cut Louis begging for Lestat to turn Claudia, like his promises that he will be happy and that he will be happy for you and for her. That's gone.
Прошу, я на все согласен. Прошу, я на все пойду. Прошу.
You're touching.
Прошу.
I'm gonna call the person.
Прошу. 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 Прошу.
Ты всю жизнь будешь жалеть. Луи винил себя. Замкнулся в себе. Но вы питаете надежду, что он сбросит свою меланхолию и вернется.
Lestat's monologue here is a little shorter, so he doesn't say that if your companion no longer wishes to share his body with you. Again, they could have like retranslated it a little bit, maybe not the body, but mind or whatever, heart, as in the friendship sense.
Что тогда делать?
That he'll love you like you love him is also gone.
Что нам, чудовищам, какая-то ссора между друзьями?
Да.
So what's a bite between paramours becomes what's a fight between friends.
Я не смог убедить его. Я навредил.
So I couldn't persuade him to return my affection. They cut him to return my affection. So it becomes just I couldn't persuade. And the rest is your guesses.
И вот опять он снова причиняет себе боль.
What is worse than that? They left that part, but question what you cannot own. And where Lestat breaks down crying and saying, I heard the only one.
Ничего не меняется. На меня плевать. Я лишь кусок черепицы, слетевший с вашей крыши.
One more round in the stormy romance of you two. We don't have Claudia saying that, but I guess the sentiment is still there. That's it for episode 7. But as it is, as I firmly believe, a double feature, let's get straight to the last episode. And straight here is the operative word. In the censored version, the last episode is 49 minutes long.
Костюм ничего не меняет. И вот, я убиваю Лестата, но не сжигаю.
I'm kissing Lestat on the altar. We don't have it because we didn't see it. We didn't get to see it.
Я скрыл от него свои мысли. Я думал лишь о том. Я ничто.
Я ниш.
Without him, I'm nothing. And here Armand just says, I am nothing. I guess that is a very Armand thing to say.
Мне все равно, как ты себя называешь. Иди ко мне.
For some reason, the only time in the whole 2 seasons where they use the phrase come to me is here. That says a lot about this version, I guess.
И я понял, что нужно выбрать между 200-летним кланом. Ты репетировал с Лестатом. Они...
Armand knew that he had to choose between his covenant's 200 years and Louis, but in the translation, he says, I had to choose between my coven. And that's it. He does not continue his sentence between a coven. I guess that was a very tough choice, choosing between one thing. Okay, here we go. The tower scene that would probably make no sense in the censored version, but let's see, let's check.
Здесь он хранил разочарование. Тех, кто был до меня. Тут был своего рода декор.
Плевать.
Let's start talking about the victims of Magnus, like dirty blondes and Nordic blondes. Where that is gone for some reason, was that like too gory, or was that like too indicative of Magnus's taste in men, I guess? I don't know. Very strange.
Зачем?
Зачем репетировал пьесу, которую сжигали?
All jumbled. Like they are even cutting the sounds and they cutting the translated sound. I feel like they recorded the voiceover and then they even cut that. But they are refusing to call Claudia their daughter, but maybe not even their daughter. They could have just called her Louise's daughter, but they are just refusing that. There is some quite an Olympic level of censorship gymnastics where they try to conceal that.
Тогда иная смерть. Куда бы тебя ни занесла жизнь. Живи с этим.
Что ж. Удачи. Странная фраза. Что думаете, он подразумевал?
So Louis came to that tower to presumably kill Lestat, but then probably changed his mind, or maybe that was his plan all along. He offered Lestat a metaphorical death where Louis chooses Armand instead of him, and that is supposed to hurt him so badly that it's worse than death for Lestat. And Lestat then says, like, okay, enjoy him, and Louis is just like, "Ugh, that's not what I expected." That's in a nutshell. But here, Louis just comes there with the intention to kill, and then for some reason just changes his mind and says, okay, just live with it. And Lestat is like, okay, I will live with it, and they just leave.
Странная фраза. Что думаете, он подразумевал?
Все очевидно. Мы отправились в путь. Долго пробыли в Нью-Йорке.
Again, it doesn't make sense. So Daniel asks an odd phrase. An odd phrase was Lestat's phrase that let's see how long it holds, meaning that let's see how long the lie holds and how long their relationship holds. But here, Lestat doesn't say that. He just says, like, good luck, and Daniel says, like, an odd phrase. Good luck is an odd phrase for Daniel. Okay. But then it's even worse. Daniel asks, why did Lestat say that phrase? Why did he say it? And Louis just completely ignores that question and says, yeah, we traveled with Armand. I know they couldn't make sense of it. At least try a little bit.
Сан-Франциско. Мы побывали много где, повсюду. И вот мы в Дубае.
And also Louis and Armand talking about their travels. It's cut quite short because all the details where they walked Paris, let's see Egypt, that's kind of gone. So anyway, they said bye-bye to Lestat. Lestat says good luck. And then they went to San Francisco and then they're in Dubai. The end.
Вот и все. Это конец. Теперь могу это признать. Наверное, наш уход тогда сильно ранил его.
Armand doesn't say he loved you here, but he does say that them leaving Lestat there probably hurt him deeply, and it did. We saw it, or we saw the approximation of it, I guess.
Так вы устроены, мистер Малой. Не можете без провокаций.
Листат тоже мог его спасти.
И он не смог бы о таком промолчать. Давай.
We don't talk about Lestat loving Louis, so when Daniel says, you said yourself to Armand, he loved Louis, we didn't have the original phrase of Armand, so we don't have Daniel recalling it.
Хочешь крысу?
Привет, Лестат.
Привет, Луи. С проездом?
Нет.
Здорово. Прости, я немного занят, я как раз репетирую.
They're starting cutting that. So they cut Louis saying that he came here to see Lestat, and Lestat asking what does Armand think about it. And Louis saying that he's a strong, independent woman now that don't need no man. So there's that.
Я не знал, что это дар. Считал проклятием. Я эгоист. Спасибо за твой дар. Дар, что я отверг. За мою жизнь.
I tried to make nights awful for you, and I wanted you to suffer because I was suffering. And Lestat's reply to that is, for some reason, gone. But it's so very heartfelt and so very innocuous. I don't know.
Я спас ее из огня. А полвека спустя она все равно...
В конце она смотрела на меня. Эфир 4, 3, 2.
No. So they just ended where Lestat says, at the end, she looked at me, and that's it. Not like even a child looking at her father, and everything else is gone too. My God. The hug is gone. That's not allowed.
Ты что, других вампиров, они говорят о тебе. Они в ярости из-за нашей книги.
Но ты хочешь вторую?
Продолжение аудиокниги.
Да уж. Ты теперь жестокий убийца.
Книгу не читал?
Первая на очереди.
They also, sequels, audiobooks, they kept out but sex toys. It's just like they lowered the sound of the original and they didn't translate that. It's very funny.
Слушайте. И запоминайте. Я повелитель ночи.
Oh,
Интервью с...
I get chills every time. Something on the night is a bit cringy, but I don't know, it makes me tingly. But anyway, that's about it. I fear that the key moments of the grand finale were butchered as I expected. I can only dream, but in a better world, in an ideal world, the third season will be released without any censorship because we would live in a great country of the future. But yeah, that's asking too much. I guess I'm getting too into the doom and gloom of it. And this was supposed to be me working through my frustration with the law by making fun of it, healing myself with humor. And I hope that you enjoyed that crazy journey that we had. And well, mostly I had, because I had to suffer through all of it, and you got the best bits. I also wanted to ask you if there are any other topics connected to Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Chronicles, or just vampire in general, so media in general, that you would want me to make a video about. Leave that in comments. Leave all your thoughts and ideas in the comments. And I know that some of you asked to show my doggy. Here she is. Say hello, Ellie. Say hello and say bye-bye. See you next time.